So you finally get the thing you wanted. The pay rise, the bigger place, the next achievement. And for about a week, it's wonderful. Then, quietly, the bar moves. The thing that was going to be enough becomes the new normal, and you're already eyeing the next thing. We spend our whole lives running toward a finish line that keeps stepping back. The Stoics found the one move that stops the chase. They called it temperance. I'd call it the quiet art of enough. And by the end of this, you'll see why nothing ever feels like enough, why that isn't your fault, and a couple of small ways to finally feel fulfilled with the life you already have. Welcome back. And if you're new here, welcome to Ember Hollow. I'm Heidi, and my feathered friend here is Jesper, the Moonstone Owl archivist of Ember Hollow. Tonight, the last of the 4 Stoic virtues, temperance, the gentle power of enough. I'll be honest with you. I spent years believing the next thing would finally be the one that settled me. It never was. The peace I was chasing didn't come from getting more. It came, slowly, from learning to want less. That's the whole of tonight's video. Maybe you know the feeling, that vague sense that you'd be happy when the money's sorted, when the house is finished, when you finally reach that all-important goal. So you push and acquire and achieve, and the contentment stays just out of reach, like a horizon that moves as you walk toward it. It's exhausting. You felt the small version of it. The phone you couldn't wait for, that felt ordinary within a month. The pay rise that quietly vanished into a slightly bigger life. And here's the part no one tells you. It isn't a willpower problem, and it isn't greed. Your mind is simply built to adjust to whatever it gets, and then quietly ask for more. Nothing is wrong with you. You were just never taught where the off switch is. And temperance is that off switch. Now, the word itself sounds grim. Restriction, forced discipline, a joyless diet of less. But that was never it. Temperance isn't deprivation. It's freedom. The particular freedom of a person who has decided what enough looks like, and so can finally stop running. Not less for the sake of less, enough for the sake of peace. Seneca understood this better than almost anyone, and he wasn't some penniless monk. He was one of the richest men in Rome, which is exactly what makes him worth hearing on it. He wrote a line I come back to constantly. "It is not the man who has too little," he said, "but the man who craves more, who is poor." Sit with that for a second. By his measure, you can have a full cupboard and an empty life, or very little and feel genuinely rich. And the only difference is where you've drawn the line. Real wealth, Seneca said, is not having much. It's needing little. And there's a hidden freedom tucked inside that. The person who has learned enough can't easily be bought, can't be rushed, and can't be frightened with the threat of losing it all. When you need little, the world has very little hold on you. That, to a Stoic, is real wealth, and quietly, real power. Here's the trap underneath all of it. Every time you get the new thing, your mind quietly and surprisingly quickly resets the baseline. The treat becomes the routine. The luxury becomes the expectation. We adapt to whatever we have, the thrill fades, and so we reach for the next one. They studied lottery winners once, and within about a year, most had drifted back to roughly the happiness they'd started with. The win simply became the new normal, the way everything does. If a fortune resets to ordinary, no single purchase was ever going to be the finish line. Which means more can never actually solve it, because the wanting just grows back. You cannot win a race against your own appetite by running faster. You can only step off the track. And stepping off is a decision, not an income. Now you might be thinking, doesn't wanting less just mean settling, going soft, giving up? It's a fair worry, and here's the difference. Temperance doesn't kill ambition, it cleans it. You can still build, still grow, still reach for more. The question is, what's driving the reach? Wanting from a place of lack is a bottomless pit, and it never fills. Wanting from a place of already enough is just creation for the joy of it. Same action, completely different master. You're not putting the fire out. You're taking away its control. You are freeing yourself. So here's the first practice, and it's deceptively powerful. Decide you're enough in advance. Before you start scrolling, before you open the to-do list, before the next purchase, name the line. I'll read for 20 minutes. 3 real things done today is a good day. This is the amount that's plenty. When you set the line before you begin, you actually get to feel the satisfaction of reaching it. Without a line, there is no finish, and so no rest, ever. Enough isn't a feeling that turns up on its own. It's a line you draw on purpose. And the second is the oldest Stoic trick for feeling rich on the spot. Take one ordinary thing you have and usually overlook. Your morning coffee, the person asleep down the hall, your own steady breath. And just for a moment, picture it gone. Not to frighten yourself, to wake yourself up. The Stoics did this deliberately because the fastest way to want what you already have is to imagine life without it. Do it for 10 seconds and feel the craving for more go quiet and something warmer take its place. You were standing in the middle of enough the whole time. You'd just stopped seeing it. It feels almost too simple to work. But try it just once tonight and you'll notice. Gratitude and craving can't really share the same moment. Let one in and the other quietly steps out of the room. In Ember Hollow, this is the work of the Tidesong Cove, where the merfolk know that a life clogged with wanting more runs muddy and slow. Pull out the one thing damning it, and the clean current returns on its own. Contentment was never something you chase down. It's what flows back in, the moment you stop grasping. And with that, you have all 4 Stoic virtues. Wisdom, to see your life clearly. Courage, to act while you're still afraid. Justice, to treat people with real kindness. And temperance, to know when you already have enough. Together they don't make a harder person. They make you a whole, steady one. The modern world says the answer is always more. We say something far quieter. You are very likely standing in the middle of more than enough right now. Seneca was right. Real wealth is needing little. And that kind of wealth no one can ever take from you. That is how enough begins. That is how it has always begun. That's the 4 virtues, walked together by the fire. From here, we go deeper, sitting with not just the Stoics, but Carl Jung and some of our modern-day philosophers and thought leaders, and the best of the small daily practices that turn all of this into a life you love. I hope you'll stay for it. I'd love to know, what's one thing you already have that is more than enough? Name it in the comments. Sometimes saying it out loud is the whole practice. And if you want a gentle place to start drawing these lines, my free guide, The Seeker's Morning Pages, gives you a week of Stoic reflection. 1 small prompt a day. No pressure, no performance. The link is in the description and the pinned comment. If this is the kind of calm you've been looking for, slow, warm, enough, then you belong here. Subscribe and walk with us twice a week as we keep doing the quiet work together. You don't need more to be whole. You're allowed to feel full, starting now. And if you missed the virtue just before this one, the one about treating people with a kindness that's quietly strong, it's waiting for you on your screen right now. Until then, seekers, walk gently, be kind, and remember, you are already enough. The best self you seek is already inside you.